Good afternoon, students. I am Arindam Bag, Department of English, Maharaja Nandakumar Mahavidyalaya. Today, our topic is Toni Morrison because her fiction, Beloved, is enlisted in our syllabus. So let us have some information, or rather, let me introduce Toni Morrison to you. She was born in the year 1931, February 18, and she passed away in the year 2019, 5th August, just last year. Her original name was Chloe Anthon Woodford Morrison, but she is famous as Toni Morrison. She was an American novelist, essayist, book editor, and college professor. Her very first work, or rather, the very first novel, The Bluest Eye, was published in the year 1970. Her work, Song of Solomon, which was written in the year 1977, brought her national attention and won the National Book Critics Circle Award. In 1988, Morrison won the Pulitzer Prize for Beloved. It gained worldwide popularity and recognition also. So, in the year 1993, she was awarded the Nobel Prize in Literature. So, these are some basic information about Toni Morrison. In the next slide, there is a list you can see. Here are the lists which are actually very famous fiction written by Toni Morrison. The Bluest Eye, it was written in the year 1970. Sula, written in 1973. Song of Solomon, 1977. Tar Baby, 1981. And Beloved, which is included in our syllabus, it is written in 1987. The next slide, we will be dealing with the important aspect of a life. So here it is. She was born and raised in Lorain, Ohio. She graduated from Howard University with a BA in English 1953. She earned a master's in American literature from Cornell University in the year 1955. In 1957, she returned to Howard University, was married, and had two children also. But sadly, she experienced divorce in 1964. In the late 1960s, she became the first black female editor in fiction at Random House in New York City. Now, Random House is a publication house which normally publish paperback books. The origin, or rather uh, the publishing house, it is related to a company in Germany that has a wing in New York City. She was the first black female editor. Now, why did I mention this black female editor? Because when she hold this position, it is her jurisdiction, or rather, it is she which actually helped many other black writers to publish their works. So, in 1970s and 1980s, she developed her own reputation as an author. So, apart from being an editor, she was an author also. And on her most celebrated work, Beloved, a film a film was made in the year 1998. In 1996, the National Endowment for the Humanities selected her for the Jefferson Lecture the US federal government's highest honor for achievement in the humanities. Also, that year, means in 1996, he was honored with the National Book Foundation's Medal of Distinguished Contribution to American Letters. In the year 2012, May 29, President Barack Obama presented Morrison with the Presidential Medal of Freedom. You know Barack Obama, na? He was the President of United States. In 2016, she received the Payne Saul Bellow Award for Achievement in American Fiction. So, see, these are some major achievements or some major informations which you should know about Toni Morrison. Let us move to the next slide. She had a traumatic childhood. Yep, it's not very easy to be a black person in America because we all know black people, they feel themselves alienated from the society or the system of United States. It happens because the slave system which existed earlier had a long hangover till now. Even now, recent past, several incidents, several movements, nowadays it is known as Black Lives Matter. It is observed that black people are humiliated or brought into jurisdiction or wrongly accused, even killed because of their skin color. Toni Morrison's experience was not different from that. It was earlier, na? If things like this is still happening, now imagine what kind of society it was earlier when Toni Morrison was very young. So she was born in Lorain, Ohio, to Rama and George Wofford. She was the second of four children from a working class black family. Her entire family belongs to the black people. Na? When Wofford was about 15, it means her father, a group of white people lynched two black businessmen who lived on his street. Now, these are very unhappy incidents going across the globe. Morrison later said he never told us that he had seen bodies, but he had seen them. And that was too traumatic, I think, for him. His father, who was very young then, he was only 15 years, experienced a lynching in front of him. He has seen that because of the skin color, 15 people, they lynched two people to death. Soon after the lynching, George Wofford moved to the racially integrated town of Lorain, Ohio, in the hope of escaping racism and securing gainful employment in Ohio's burgeoning industrial economy. Everybody wants a peaceful life, so definitely when he got that opportunity, he took it. He worked odd jobs and as a welder for US Steel. Rama Woodford was a homemaker and a devout member of the African Methodist Episcopal Church. When Morrison was about 2 years old, her family's landlord set fire to the house in which they lived. Another trauma, another accident or sad incident which actually traumatized Toni Morrison herself. While they were home, because her parents could not pay the rent, so the landlord where they used to stay, they were unable to pay the rent, and that's why the landlord was so furious and so reckless that he set fire to their house. But her family responded in a different way. Instead of lamenting or instead of being frustrated, they started laughing at the landlord rather falling into despair. This is a lesson for her. Later on, we will realize this kind of incident actually makes people very strong from inside. Morrison later said family's response demonstrated how to keep your integrity and claim your own life in the face of acts of such monumental crudeness. Because of the black color of their skin, they were treated in this manner. Morrison's parents instilled in her a sense of heritage, language, through telling traditional African American folk tales, ghost stories, and singing songs. These things actually helped Morrison in future, I think, to be a great writer. Morrison also read frequently as a child. Among her favorite authors were Jane Austen, Leo Tolstoy. She became a Catholic at the age of 12 and took the baptismal name Anthony of Padua, which led to her nickname Toni. So these are some these are some information about her childhood. Now let us see the problem of being black. Now she is grown enough, so she will experience a first-hand, treatment of being a black person in America. In 1949, she enrolled at Howard University in Washington, D.C. You know the capital. It's the capital of United States, seeking the company of fellow black intellectuals. It was while at Howard that she encountered racially segregated restaurants and buses for the first time. She has observed that special restaurants, special buses for the black people only. Black people are not allowed to travel with the white people. They were segregated. So these types of mentality was running through the society. She experienced this. In 1960s, she became the first black female editor in fiction at Random House in New York City. I informed about you in my earlier slide about this information. In that capacity, Morrison played a vital role in bringing black literature into the mainstream. Now, if you want to know what is black literature, please visit Wikipedia or Google. You will find what black literature is. Black literature, basically, if you want to know what black literature is, one word: literature created by the black people. Literature created or written by the black peoples. Some famous names are like Chinua Achebe, Volkswagen, Athol Fugard, Doris Lessing. These are some names. You will get these names. If you Google it, you will find it, I guess. So one of the first books she worked on was the groundbreaking contemporary African literature. 1972, it was in the year 1972, a collection that included only 3 authors. 2 of them were Nigerian. One is Volkswagen, second is Chinua Achebe. Later on, you have Chinua Achebe also, things fall apart. Our respected teacher, faculty member, Dr. Monroe Islam, he is dealing with this one, Chinua Achebe. And South African playwright Athol Fugard. So these are the 3 names we got here. She fostered a new generation of Afro-American writers, including poet, novelist Toni Cade Bambara, radical activist Angela Davis, Black Panther Huey Newton, and novelist Gail Jones, whose writing Morrison discovered. So being an editor, he actually provided platform to some unknown authors also, who previously was not known to the people. Now they were in the limelight. She also brought up to publication in 1975 autobiography of the outspoken boxing champion Muhammad Ali. We know him, isn't it? The greatest My Own Story. So the autobiography of Muhammad Ali, the great boxer, was actually published by her in the year 1975. In addition, she published and promoted the work of Henry Dumas, a little-known novelist and a poet who in 1968 had been shot to death by a transit officer in the New York City subway. This is very sad, but it happens. Among other books Morrison developed and edited is The Black Book, 1974, an anthology of photographs, illustrations, essays, and other documents of black life in the United States from the time of slavery in the 1920s. So she was actually providing some sort of platform to all those oppressed black people, and she tried to tried to express their concern. She tried to show the world how they were oppressed. And so this is the end of the presentation for today. I won't make it long. The entire information I got here, the entire slide has been created from a single source, that is Wikipedia. Please visit this page, you will get to know. And thanks for watching. Now There is a reminder again, please attend Google meeting at 2 p.m. for any doubt clearing, any questions if you have any. That will be a live session, and after that session you will have you need to submit the Google form followed by the Google meeting, and please submit your response by 5 p.m. if you want your attendance. And last request, as all YouTubers do, please like, share and subscribe my channel. Thank you. That will be all.